There comes a moment in life when you feel stuck, like the world has shut its doors on you. You ask yourself, why me? Why am I not moving forward? But let me tell you this, your pain is not your prison. It's your fuel. Every setback you faced was never the end of your story. It was the beginning of your breakthrough. Make. If you stay with me till the end of this video, you will discover the power that already lives inside you. The power to rise, to rebuild, and to rewrite your destiny. Me making the decision to make. I still remember the moment when I realized that the fire I was searching for was never out there. It was always inside me. For so long, I kept waiting for the perfect opportunity, the right timing, or someone to validate my worth. But life doesn't hand you approval slips. I had to learn that if I kept waiting for someone to give me permission, I would be waiting forever. I asked myself, why am I afraid to step into my own power? That question shook me. I realized I wasn't lacking talent or potential. I was lacking belief. So I stopped searching outside and turned inward. I looked at my struggles not as obstacles, but as fuel. Every hardship I had endured was proof that I had survived. Now, just as simple a decision to make. There was strength already living in me. That spark inside me didn't need permission to shine. It only needed my decision. And from that day, I promised myself that I would stop playing small. I would stop dimming my light just to fit in. I was born to stand out, to rise, to live fully. And so my journey truly began. I realized quickly that life is less about chance and more about choice. Each morning, I wake up with two options: to drift through the day and let it control me, or to take control and shape it with intention. I have wasted days where I let excuses run my life. I told myself I was tired, I was unlucky, or maybe it wasn't my time yet. But deep down, I knew those were lies I was feeding myself. I knew the truth. My future was waiting on the choices I made today. So I stopped giving my power away to circumstances and people who didn't believe in me. I took ownership. I asked myself, if my life were a book, what story would I want it to tell? That question lit a fire under me. From then on, I started saying yes to discipline, yes to consistency, yes to becoming the version of myself I admired but hadn't yet met. Each decision, no matter how small, became a brick in the foundation of my future. I wasn't chasing perfection anymore. I was chasing progress. That progress became my compass. There was a time when life knocked me down so hard. I thought I would never stand again. I felt broken, tired, and ready to quit. But something inside whispered, "This is not the end of your story." And that whisper became my strength. I realized that pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Every challenge was carving me into someone stronger. When everything felt like it was falling apart, I discovered that sometimes life has to break you open to show you who you really are. In those dark moments, I had two choices: stay down and accept defeat, or rise from the ashes and claim the future that was meant for me. I chose to rise. Each scar became my badge of survival. Each setback reminded me that I was still here, still breathing, still capable of fighting. I began to embrace failure, not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Failure was showing me the path to resilience, to courage, to growth. And when I rose from those ashes, I rose taller, stronger, and more determined than ever before. Every single day is a battle, not with the world, but with myself. My laziness, my doubts, my fears, my comfort zone, all of them try to chain me down. And every morning I face them. Some days I win easily. Other days I struggle. But I've learned that victory isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up and fighting, even when I don't feel like it. I remind myself that discipline is freedom. If I stay consistent, the results will come. I don't need to do everything at once. I only need to take the next right step. That's how I build momentum. That's how I move forward, piece by piece. I stopped waiting for motivation, because motivation is temporary. Discipline, however, is permanent. I started treating every day like a new opportunity to sharpen my skills, strengthen my mind, and toughen my spirit. And yes, I fail sometimes. I stumble. I procrastinate. But I no longer stay down. I push myself to get back up again and again. That's the battle I fight. And every time I win, I become a little stronger, a little wiser, a little closer to who I am meant to be. I used to believe that limits were real. I thought I was too old, too young, too inexperienced, or too broken to achieve something meaningful. But then I asked myself, who told me that? And I realized it wasn't the world that put limits on me. It was me. My fears, my doubts, my comparisons to others, they were the real chains holding me back. So I made a decision I would stop living inside the box that others placed me in. I would break the walls of my own self-doubt. I started challenging myself to go beyond what I thought was possible. I pushed my body, my mind, and my spirit further than ever before. And every time I reached a new level, I realized how much more was inside me. That's when I understood the truth limits are illusions. They only exist if they only accept them. The only limit is how far I am willing to go, how much I am willing to sacrifice, how deeply I am willing to believe. And now, when I look in the mirror, I no longer see someone trapped. I see someone free. Me making the decision to make. There was a time when I doubted myself so much that I almost gave up on everything. The weight of expectations, the fear of failure, and the noise of criticism made me believe that maybe I wasn't meant for greatness. But in those darkest hours, I realized something powerful. No one else was going to hand me the life I wanted. If I didn't stand up for myself, no one would. So I started talking to myself differently. Instead of saying, I can't, I started saying, I will. Instead of asking, why me? I asked, why not me? Slowly, my inner dialogue began to shift. And with it, my actions followed. I began to understand that growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you feel the pain of stretching, breaking old habits, and building new ones. Every failure became my teacher. Every setback my training ground. I refused to let fear dictate my future. I decided that no matter how many times I stumbled, I would keep getting back up. That decision alone changed the entire direction of my life. When I look back now, I see that the hardest moments were not there to destroy me. They were there to shape me. Every rejection, every closed door, and every heartbreak carried a hidden lesson that I couldn't see at the time. I remember sitting in silence some nights, wondering if my efforts even mattered. But I learned that silence is where strength is born. It's where clarity whispers to you. In those moments, I told myself, you're not finished. Your story is still being written. And that gave me the courage to take one more step, even when I didn't feel like moving. That one step led to another, and eventually, those steps became momentum. I stopped chasing perfection and started embracing progress. It didn't matter how small my progress was, as long as I kept moving forward, I was winning. I discovered that success is not a destination. It's a journey of becoming the best version of yourself every single day. That's the truth that carried me out of darkness and into the light of possibility. Before you leave today, remember this. Remember this. Life will never hand you the perfect moment, the perfect chance, or the perfect path. You create it. You shape it. You live it. Every second you wait is a second lost, but every second you act is a step closer to greatness. So don't just listen to these words. Live them. Stand up. Take control. And write the story you want the world to remember. This is your time, and your journey starts now.